Well, good morning. Good morning. I am your girl, Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration. We are here for another episode of Morning Inspiration with Friends. So grab your tea, grab your coffee, your water. I over here got my coffee. I think next week I'm going to share with y'all what I use a protein coffee that I found. Not one of those expensive ones on TikTok Shop. Even though I do shop TikTok Shop, but I'm not going to always promote and share things. If I can find something cheaper, we going the cheaper route. Okay? So today, first of all, hopefully you enjoyed yesterday's throwback message. So I decided, and I was supposed to do a video yesterday, the day before, Wednesday, and totally forgot. But I decided, since I have been doing a lot of inspirational videos since 2015, and right now Facebook is getting us in the process of downloading our stuff, I was like, wouldn't it be great to just use Thursdays as a time to share a throwback message? I thought it was a great idea. No, actually, shout out to this is Nikki. She is Eric Thomas social media person, and Nikki was actually the first person that I went to one of her workshops, and she was like, learn how to repurpose your content. So I had started to do throwback Thursday messages with my old messages anyway, so don't worry, I'm gonna just continue to do that. Every other day is gonna be me live and in person, but Thursdays you are going to receive a throwback message. But I am in the comments. So I was up yesterday when it went live, and I was just in the comments engaging with the people that was watching live. If you're watching on a replay, hashtag replay, so I know that you were here. And for those of you that are watching on Instagram, this recording will not be on Instagram afterwards, but if you go to my stories afterwards, I always put the link to my YouTube channel for the replay. So you can always go back and refresh. So I think today's going to be a great conversation. So today I want to talk about, because we've been talking about purpose, assignments, right? So understanding why our purpose is important. Oh, excuse me. Then we also spoke about assignments, right? How your assignments is not related 100% to your purpose. These are just things that we're supposed to do on a daily basis. And then on Wednesday, I was watching Dr. Myles Munroe. If you know Dr. Myles Munroe, put a one in the chat. Um, I love Dr. Myles Munroe. I studied his stuff years ago, prior to him passing away, and then I also studied him even further when I got deeper into understanding my purpose and the teaching of purpose. So I feel like it's a continuation of whatever he was doing before, because he was always teaching about not only purpose, but like kingdom marriages and things of that nature. So I was watching a video that Dr. Myles Munroe did many moons ago. I don't know when he put out this video. And he was talking, he had so many different points. And so the overarching purpose of the conversation was about purpose, right? He was talking about purpose. And I mean, I got notes and notes and notes that I took from that one. And that was just from the one that I'm listening to today. Now like I said, I've been studying him, have some of his books. So I've already studied a lot of the things that he was saying. A lot of the stuff was like refreshes. But one thing that he said is, if you can hear the rain is raining hard today in Tulsa. So let's also just keep a prayer for me that we keep power today. Sometimes when it rains too hard, we lose power. But we're gonna decree and declare that I will keep power all day long today. All right. So what did he say? He said this. He said, "You're doing a good thing, so you don't ever do the right thing. The devil is distracting you with a bunch of good things so that you will never do the right thing, which is live out your purpose." My God, when I heard that again, because this wasn't the first time I've heard things like that, but when I heard it again, it did something to me, because it was just like, how many people are out here doing a whole bunch of good things and not doing the right things? I'm looking at you. Yes, you. You do a bunch of good things. You do great things. Unfortunately, you're not doing the right thing. And the devil is making you believe that as long as you continue to do all of these good things, then you're on the right track. But it's taking you away from your purpose. There comes a time when you're going to have to stop doing all of these good things and sit in a quiet space and ask God, what is the right thing I'm supposed to be doing? I believe that when we are learning, good things are always acceptable, right? Good things are going to be those assignments. But even then, some people get caught up in assignments that they take on extra credit assignments. I want you to say to me, I am not going to ask for extra credit assignments until I complete my purpose assignment. So many people are asking for extra credit. Look, I am an educator, right? Professor Williams, Professor Inspiration. I get paid to do that, right? And nothing ever bothered me than when I would have a student come to me who did none of the assigned homework. Catch this. They do none of the assigned homework. And they asked me for extra credit. Why would I give you extra credit when you didn't do the homework that I assigned to you in the class? Do that first. Do that first. Let's have a conversation. Let's see how you can improve that before I go get new work, which is just going to be new busy work. So when Dr. Myles Munroe said that, I was just like, oh, so he out here not playing games today. He coming for the big ones, right? And so yesterday I was on Threads, and a young lady, she shared the story. Basically, she was in a situation, she's talking to this dude. I don't even think she said that they were like in a relationship, but she said that this guy told her, no. So she went to his house, stayed at his house while he went to work. She cooked for him, she cleaned, she did all these things. And we're like, okay, why would you do that? But that's what she wanted to do, and she did it. So when he came home and she wasn't there, she was already gone, she went about her day. He called her and he was like, did you cook the meat that was in the refrigerator? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, why would you do that? Now, the only thing I don't agree with, she stated that he screamed at her, and I don't agree with that, because you can definitely have a conversation with someone without being an a-hole and like screaming at them as if they're your child. So she's like, I'm done with dating, da 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 da. And so all I said was, so the problem that you're failing to realize is that you think because you did a good thing, that you did the right thing. Who goes into somebody's kitchen, has no conversations about this? You see a pack of meat in there, and you just decide, I'm gonna cook this meat for this man. He didn't ask you to do that. He didn't indicate. He didn't say, I can't wait to make that spaghetti, and then you made the spaghetti. I feel like there was no conversations about that whatsoever. So that meant that this was a you choosing to do and be fast. And he was not pleased. And so she had commented back. She was like, see, that's your problem. You always want something to be right. I said, but see, that's the problem. You think because you did something good that it was the right thing to do. This is why you, quote unquote, in essence, you got in trouble. You got in trouble because you didn't do the right thing. You didn't do the right thing. You did something that was good. So when we do things that are good, that is going to put us in a position that when people are not going to be pleased because it was not the right thing for you to do. And that is exactly how God is feeling about all of the good things that we're doing out here. Right? So we have to remember that there is a difference between good and right things. And when you understand that, you will start being more cautious about just jumping and doing all of these good things, right? The dangers of saying yes to everything. Yes, yes, I'll do this. Yes, yes, I'll do this. Why? You are putting yourself in this frustration where you're going to feel burnt out. You're going to be feeling used. You're going to be feeling like no one appreciates me. You're going to be feeling all those different things because you're saying yes to everything. And you're going to probably get to a point where you might ask people for help, and those people are not going to answer you. Those people are not going to be able to help you. And now you're going to start resenting those individuals because you said yes to all of these good things that you wanted to do. And now you need something good done for you, and you're expecting those same people to turn around and do it for you. And now that leads to resentment. Then you're going to start feeling burnt out because you're doing all of these amazing good things. And you feeling like, you know what, I don't feel appreciated. And now I'm burnt out. Yep, because that is a you problem. So we got to understand that. You got to start discerning, God, am I supposed to do this? Like, this is how, these are the conversations. This is what I am telling y'all. Why do y'all keep thinking I keep telling y'all? These conversations are being had so that it will lead you towards what? Having a conversation with God. This is all that I want to do for you. I want you to come here every day at 7 a.m. Monday to Friday, have these conversations with me, and then go and have those conversations with God. Because I want you to realize, God, am I doing a bunch of good things? Am I doing the right thing? Because I don't want to be out of order with you. So you got to get to that discerning space. And you got to start figuring out. And I think next week, this is where we're going to introduce how I have been making a method that has been helpful for me. Again, I am a researcher. I ask God if I can research these things because a lot of stuff it's just not concrete, black and white, right? So sometimes you do need additional tools, and I do believe that God does provide us those additional tools, as long as we don't get into a space of idolizing and things of that nature. So yes, I want you to get into prayer. I want you to start realizing. I want you to start understanding what it is that. Hold on. So yeah. So, last thing, we got to choose the right things to do in every season. And I understand that, the more that you get closer to God and you start having these like really healthy conversations and you start understanding what those feelings are going to start feeling like, the confirmations that's going to give you, yes, I need you to do this. No, I don't need you to do that. You are going to start, asking God, is this aligned with my calling? Is this going to bring me closer to you? And it's going to bring me closer to my God-given purpose. Like, we gotta, those are the kind of questions that I want you to start asking God. Is this aligned with my calling? Is this leading me closer to God? And is this leading me closer to my God-given purpose? When we start asking God those things, right? And these are the actions. So again, I don't want us to get into this space of where we're constantly doing a whole bunch of good things that we are not asking him about the right things that we should be doing. Right? Don't just jump to doing every single thing. I want you to get into that space where you're like, all right, God, just give me some direction. Let me know what I'm supposed to do. How am I supposed to do it? Like, we want to get so clear. Good morning, Bola. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. You might have to go back and watch the replay, but I want us to get to that. I want you to get to that point, right? Everything is not your assignment. So we spoke about that on Wednesday. And I understand that sometimes those assignments, they feel good. But if it's not your assignment and God tells you it's not your assignment, I don't need for you to do that. It's okay if you say no, because he's going to send the people that are going to say yes, that are supposed to help them, that are supposed to be there at that anointed time. So don't get frustrated. Don't feel like, but I feel helpless. I want to help everyone. That is not your assignment, because then you're going to start blaming God when you get burnt out. You're going to start blaming God, or you're going to start blaming the people that you're helping constantly, because now you're resenting them. And especially when you need help, because you were saying yes to everyone. You were saying, I'm going to help everyone. I'm going to be Captain Saver, and I'm going to do all these different things because I'm a good person. This is the reason why when people say to me, but I'm a good person. And that means what? Okay. You're a good person. Or are you doing the right things? Because you could do a lot of good things and still be doing the wrong things to people. Just like that example I gave earlier. The girl said that she cooked, she cleaned for her boyfriend or this guy that she's dating, and she cooked something that he never asked her to cook. So she did a good deed, but it was still wrong because she did not do what he did not ask her. First of all, he didn't ask her to do any of this. So she volunteered because again, she wants, I'm a good person. I'm gonna let him know I'm gonna be one day, I'm gonna be a good wife. And I'm pretty sure that was her intent. And she did something, and he was like, no, I did not ask you to do this. And this is the reason why the friction and the conflict came into assignment. Do you see how that happens? See, God is not the author of confusion. If you do something that is right, the confusion is not going to happen. But their confusion happened because here she was trying to do something good, and it was not the right thing to do, not the right time, not the right thing. That's confusion. So this is the reason why she's all upset. So you have to understand that. Are you just doing a bunch of good things? And all those good things, anything related and close to your purpose or what God is asking you to do? I will always say, until you get to that point of understanding, yeah, do a bunch of good things. But when you get to that point where you hear God's voice, you know what God is telling you to do, and you're just ignoring it, and you're like, I don't like that assignment, so I'm going to go over here and do this assignment. You know how many students I've had do that before? Well, miss, I know you assigned me to page 79 to 80, but I did page 89 to 90. And see, I did it right. But that wasn't the assignment. The assignment was 79 to 80. Why did you do 89 to 90? So you did something. And you did it well, but it was not right. Are we understanding? Like, that's the easiest way to look at it as from this standpoint. Looking at this camera, I see people typing, but I'm like, I don't want to just keep looking up and down. So Bola typed in a few things as I was speaking. You can't seek validation in your purpose. You see validation in God. Exactly. All right. Once that's your focus, you give yourself grace when you walk away. And people sometimes don't know when the season, they really don't. They don't, because there's no communication. There's no communication with God whatsoever. And like I said, the one thing that I hope from these sessions, from these morning inspirations, it makes you walk away wanting to have a conversation with God. Like, that's what I hope, because a lot of this, sometimes people don't know what this means. This is why I need y'all to share these messages, because someone out there just doesn't have that level of awareness. So many people are just operating just to operate. And they're doing it on their own accord, and then they're getting mad with God. And unfortunately, we got to stop that. Bola said I had to learn that and give myself grace when I walk away. Yes, right? And we even have to give ourselves grace when God is telling us a no, right? Especially when it comes to, another project, volunteer opportunity. Like, I was having this conversation with someone, and they said that they literally had to go into prayer because they kept saying yes to because people just started to know them. Oh, this person, they're good for volunteering. They would love to volunteer. They volunteer all the time. And when that person finally went into prayer and was like, God, is this what I'm supposed to do? And, is this another assignment that you want me to partake in? And she said she heard very clearly, no. When she told the people, they were like, but you never say no. They was upset with her. And she said she just had to walk away with so much grace and just understand it and peace. Like, but this is what God told me, and I'm going to just move according to that and not feel like, oh my gosh, you're supposed to do everything and always supposed to say yes to everything. And that's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true. It's not true at all, right? It's not true at all. So, yeah. So that's what I have for today. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these under like 25 minutes, but yes, I do know that Mondays, we'll be back on Monday at 7 a.m. Go back to following the videos that I did this week. You're going to start seeing more clips on my social media. So I'm gonna start pulling out clips. If you see those, if you can share them, so we can get more people here into the lives, share them to your stories. I would greatly appreciate. You don't have to share them to your feed, but if you can share them to your stories, that would definitely be awesome. That's something I do ask people to do for me, to help me to build this community every Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Having these conversations. And again, I love having these conversations because I pray, that's my prayer every morning, is that when this ends, you go into a conversation with God, like, So hopefully today, this will be a conversation for someone, whenever you're watching this, that you start asking yourself and asking God, am I doing a bunch of good things, or am I doing the things that are right? The things that you need for me to do. And I always put that disclaimer out, be careful, because once you know what you're supposed to do and you don't do it, yeah, you're out of order. I know. I don't like it either. Like, it's not. I'm not a fan, but it's the truth, right? So I definitely am thankful for that. Keep me in prayers. If you're watching the news, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Arkansas, we all like going through crazy weather, tornadoes, hailstorms. I heard that tomorrow we might get snow again. But yeah, so I just ask that you just keep us all in prayer, and keep, to pray that we all stay safe. But I hope you have an amazing day. Hope you have an awesome Friday. Have a great weekend. Go out there, do something amazing. Do one great thing for yourself this weekend. Whether it's just go get you some flowers, if that's something that you like, take a beautiful walk, go to a museum, like whatever you have accessible to you and your team. Oh, and if you need some ideas, I always forget that I do have these resources for you all, free resources. So I do have like a solo date night bingo card. So you can go to my link tree, you can download that. That's completely free, nothing that you would have to pay for. But yes, you can go to my link tree and you can download that if you are like, hey, I need to do something. And these are ideas that you can also do with someone else. So you have someone that you want to do something with, I'm not forcing you, but go to the link tree, you can download the solo date night bingo card and you can get some ideas, right? So I am your girl, Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration. Have an amazing day on purpose, with purpose. I love you. And as you know, God loves you as well.